The life of a gypsy. The only home Ray Van Horn knows is his trusty RV. He crisscrosses the United States from the streams of Montana to the waters of southern Florida and destinations in between and beyond. It's the life Ray loves. It's the life of a gypsy angler.
In my mind, the show today was going to be about exposing the Mirrolures as a bass fishing bait and to go catch some saltwater fish all in the same day. Some of you, not all of you, may not realize that the Mirrolure was actually born in freshwater in the middle part of this country years and years and decades ago. And then when Frank the Master moved down to Florida, oh, by the way, he figured out they caught saltwater fish pretty well as well. For me, the Mirrolure might be the most versatile bait a guy can use in a lot of cases. It will catch everything in salt water. It looks like a scaled sardine. Everything eats a scaled sardine. If you're a saltwater guy, that's what you think. For me, and I have caught literally thousands of bass on a shad. That little Mirrolure is as close to being a replica of a shad as of any bait I've ever seen. And a lot of people don't realize that. Well, you're gonna see today, it catches them. This is really cool on a lot of levels because we're on my old home lake, Lake Tarpon in Pinellas County, Tarpon Springs, Florida. My good friend Dan Richardson lives on Lake Tarpon. And I've got a long history here, and he's out here, he's got the vibe down. He knows what these fish are doing. And he said, hey, let's go hit the lake early, and then we'll go fishing, saltwater sometime, maybe around lunch or so. You, I have known a couple of decades.
That's exactly right.
And when I first moved here 34 years ago, one of the first people I ever met was your dad.
Out here on the lake.
Your dad was out here guiding on Lake Tarpon.
Yep.
Was guiding here forever, and a true gentleman, and apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, I have caught thousands, if not more, bass on this lake over time. And the point I want to make is I want to catch them on saltwater lures. I'm going to catch them on Mirrolures today.
Okay.
So I think we should just go after them with all due haste.
Let's do it.
We launch out, idle out to the mouth of the park, and make a few casts right there at the mouth of the park because typically there's a few there, but we didn't hook up. Danny said, let's run down to the south end of the lake and check that out. So we ran down to one of his really great spots for an early morning bite.
There's some hydrilla with some fish in it right there, on the right.
Yeah, you can see them standing out.
You can see them right there. So they're either there around bait, we just don't see the bait. All those white things, fish.
We pull up, put the power poles down, I make a cast, twitch, let it sink down about a 3 count, and I mean, knock the slack out of my line. There's one.
Right there.
Well, that didn't take long.
Stick it. Ooh, nice. I'll be darned, we saw it, then we catch it. How sweet is that?
First cast with a Mirrolure. You see that?
Nice fish.
Look at how brown you are, dude. Look at that fish. Get a Mirrolure, a sinking Mirrolure. Look at this, Danny.
That'd be a great start.
Look down this fish's throat.
You get 5 of those. Oh man, look at what it's eating. Look how big that shad is.
It's either a shiner or it could be a brim.
It could be a brim too, yeah.
Dude, that was like immediate return on investment. There you go, boy. Oh, black water. Second cast, same thing. There's another one!
Bring him home, baby! Bring him home.
So Danny, 2 twitches and let it sink.
We got about 5 foot of water here. We got sparse hydrilla, and we have some bait around the perimeter.
I knew it was going to be pretty good. I didn't know it was going to be 6 casts, 6 bass. It was pretty hot.
These fish have been coming up and schooling at the bait, but right now, they haven't been schooling, so they didn't show themselves.
They're just
But they
down
sure
there.
did with the side
The
view.
key to this, especially this mooring component on the lake, and the success we had, we can attribute that to the Raymarine side vision componentry. I'll tell you what, electronics have come so far.
It just takes a lot of the game of searching out of it. You can pinpoint fish more quickly, more accurately.
I'm not going to try to sit here and profess that I'm an expert on this because I'm still learning everything about this unit. There's so much technology there with down vision, side vision, the chirp component. I mean, it's high def. It's unbelievable.
You see the
Looks
little
like
darkness?
cotton candy.
See, yeah, it looks like cotton candy. See that white spot? That's fish. But see how nice and smooth this is? Yeah. That starts your grass.
Danny has so much experience in freshwater especially. Not only are you going to see logs, sunken brush piles in lakes in the south, that's a huge deal. And I know Danny just cruises the lake over here. Just, I don't know, I think he said he's got 50 or 60 brush piles out in this lake, and he finds them with the side vision. And it's amazing.
You see we got a log here. Anytime you see something that's vertical structure, you'll see the shading on the outside. After you see that, you start looking for where the fish are holding. There's fish there, holding right at the edge of the log. There's fish there, there, and there. So they're around it, but there's only one actually on that log. And you look for them at that level because that's when they bite.
It gets you pretty excited knowing that right there off to the side, 50 feet over here, there's a tree and there's bass on it. And you're just not throwing to open water.
Oh,
right there, right there.
It's gonna be great.
That's 5 feet in front of the boat. Not only does he find brush and trees, he told me about a sunken boat. Holds fish. Structure's gonna hold fish. That's a pretty little guy right there. Side vision is amazing. I mean, it's a game changer. It truly is.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. EVINRUDE E-Tech, 300 hours, no dealer scheduled maintenance. Camp Light Truck Campers, no wood, no rot.
You know, after we catch 11, 12 bass, and some of them jumped off, of course, but I mean, we hooked about a dozen in very short order. I said, I think we've made our point here. And let's go put it on the trailer and run over to the Anclote River and go catch some snook. Well, Danny, this is some more of my history right here. This is the mouth of the Anclote River, Tarpon Springs, right outside of Miss Vicky's, which you can catch fish right here, then you can go in there and get your great sandwich and a premium cold drink.
Give me in on that.
You're gonna hear me talk this year about El Nino weather pattern, and that's what we're in. We've got a front coming down, a good one, and it's sucking moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico like unbelievable. It's like a sauna. And you look at the radar, and there are huge bands of rain just offshore. And I said, you know, it's all gonna be timing, whether or not we can even get the episode in this afternoon. But that overcast and that light wind, I said, you know, these conditions, I've got to throw a topwater. I mean, this is just sick. Danny, I'll tell you what, this time of the year, especially with an El Nino, I mean, the weather changes constantly. You'll have a front almost every 3 days.
Okay.
And just the other day, it was bright and sunny, blowing hard out of the east. And now look at it, it's all souped in. That front's coming down from the north, sucking all this moisture out of the Gulf. And you know, if you don't like the weather around here, just stick around a day or so and watch this.
How much of that weather does it change the fish's behavior?
Well, you know, low light is a lot better because those fish in bluebird skies don't necessarily get along.
Okay. So they think they're more stealth and less visible when the clouds are overhead?
You know, I think that they have a tendency to move around a little bit
Roam
more.
a little bit.
You know, bright blue sunny skies, they're more prone to raptor attacks.
Okay.
And you know, when you're a little baby snook or little baby redfish, I think it's just ingrained in you. We hit it right at slack tide, 30, 40 minutes into the incoming. It was game on. So there's a couple of holes right off that point over there going into the bayou. So I'm throwing a topwater, Dan's throwing a topwater. They're crushing it, but they're not eating it real good.
Oh,
yeah,
that looks
baby.
like a real fish.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. That's a trout.
That is a trout.
Oh, no! I think basically what was happening is that it generated a reflex strike, and, you know, they might have been getting underneath the chin. They did, you know, they were violent strikes, but, you know, the lure was coming off. Danny said, hey, you know, I'm gonna try a subsurface. Well, that's all fine and good until I watched what he was doing. And I'm looking over there and I thought he was electroshocked. I mean, I've never seen anybody fish a jig like Dan fished it. Typically, I use it as an extraction tool. He used it as a search tool to generate a reaction strike. I mean, he was just, it was crazy.
Ooh, there he is. Got him? Yep. Might be a, oh no, it's not.
No, it's
Another
not.
Snookers.
Dude.
Nice. Another Snookumville. Oh!
So it wasn't his first or second cast, and he hooked into a great fish.
Ah, it is a red. I knew it.
Way to go, Danny.
Yes. Nice. Oh, it's a good red, too.
Dude, it is nice.
Uh-oh. It may be a Snooky baby. He's feeling good about himself.
You gonna need some help with that?
Negative, I just keep him away from the poles.
Oh, it is a snook.
He's a Snooky.
You sure you
Would
don't
it be better
need
if I
no
come that way?
help?
Doesn't matter. I'm gonna bring him over here. See,
Look at that.
that's a nice.
Nice.
It's a nice one.
Oh, look at you, dude.
Nice.
Look at you, dog.
Look at this guy, huh?
Look at that. That'll mess up your bass fishing.
Nice.
Man. It's a double-digit snook.
That's a very nice one.
What you got, dude?
I
You
got
got
a
another
red this
snook?
time. No, I'm not sure. I think it might be a, oh,
You
a
got another
Snooky.
snook?
Did that tell you something?
It's a snook.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that tells me. You're the snook whisperer.
Snooky.
How about that Little John XL just serving notice?
It's definitely doing that.
Not a giant, but pretty good.
There are no mirrors downstairs.
I'll tell you what, light jig. That's a great bait, dude.
Got my vote.
Pretty fish, look at that.
I was
Bright
catching
yellow fins.
bass on it yesterday and snook on it today.
All right, put it back in the pool.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by St. Croix Rods. Fish now, do everything else later. FRIGID-RIGID Coolers, the last cooler you'll ever buy. Mirrolure, turn on the bite anytime, tie on a Mirrolure. TORKLIFT International, the camper tie down and suspension of Gypsy Angler.
There he is.
Get him, Danny. Danny is wearing them out. And they're not little fish. I mean, he's catching some dandies. And, you know, before we know it, the boat slammed out. We haven't fished but one spot. It was great. Yeah, baby. Woo-hoo.
This one's shaking his head like maybe it might be a redfish.
Oh, you got you a redfish.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
There we
that's
go.
nothing small about that, brother.
That's a baby. That's my boy.
There's your red. There's your redfish.
He's a reddy.
Keep away from that trolling motor, bro.
Nice. He's out of the trolling motor. Yes.
How about that slam,
Sweet.
man?
He
That's
ate
a good one,
Good,
pal.
yeah.
That is a good one. Can't even see that XL.
He ate it. Nice. Thank you, sir.
Look at that. Hugs and kisses. There's a nice redfish, Danny.
It is.
That's right there, about 26 inches, top of the slide. Beautiful. Great job, man.
Gracias.
Danny, that's an awesome fish, man. Congratulations on a slam.
I haven't caught one of those in a while.
Bass in the morning, slam in the afternoon, and the golf.
Thanks to Captain Ray. Thank
Good
you.
job, brother. Star of the Bass Show. for you guys that are looking for your next new secret bass lure was the 17M Mirrolure, the sink model, the heavy Dean. And the retrieve we used was a twitch, an exaggerated pause. We were fishing 5 to 6 feet of water, cast it out, long cast, over that hydrilla, twitch, pause, about a 3 count. Got down there about 4 or 5 feet and they knocked the slack out of it. Now, second half of the show, I started out with one of my favorite topwaters, a bone-colored she-dog on a casting rod, medium light action. Generated some tremendous strikes, although I only hooked up on a couple of those fish. I mean, they were all reflex strikes. And then Danny sealed the deal on this bait, and I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to fishing this. This bait right here has got a ton of potential. This is a Mirrolure, and this is called a Little John XL. There are 2 Little Johns. There's one that's about 4 inches long, and then this one's almost 5. And this has got more of a rounded, blunt head, and he's fishing it on an 1/8 ounce jig head, and he was fishing it really erratic and really fast and getting those reflex strikes, but boy, were they eating it. And this is the Little John XL in what they call a golden brim pattern, and fishing it on a 7.5 foot medium light action rod, making unbelievable long casts, working it real fast, real erratic. You can't work this too fast, by the way. You can't work it a real faster than a bass can swim. And I would have never thought to fish this bait that fast. I learned something today. And you can also make a topwater presentation out of this bait with a rigging hook. So there you have it. I'll tell you what, this Tarpon Springs area is pretty cool because you have Lake Tarpon within a few miles of here. And that was the reason why I settled here 34 years ago, is because of all the different angling opportunities. You know, freshwater, saltwater. I don't know if there's a better place around.
Agreed. I mean, you can get on a kayak and come right here along Howard Park and put it in. You can get on a paddleboard. You can get in a John boat like that guy just went by us. So many different ways to fish. And it doesn't take a big boat like this, as nice as this, to go out there and have just as much fun as the other guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a great day, and I'm looking forward to some fun tonight. Guess you got the grill fired up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have some steaks, we're gonna have some fixins, maybe a beer or two. It's gonna be nice.
The Gypsy Angler with Ray Van Horn is brought to you by ProCure Bait Sense, ruthlessly effective. Blue Point Fabrication, if you can dream it, we can build it. Dick Norris GMC, the preferred truck dealer of the Gypsy Angler. Bob's Machine Shop, go fast, go shallow, go efficient.
You know, so much of this is history for me. As much as things change, a lot of things are still the same. Structure, unless it's been radically changed by a hurricane or some other supreme force, is what it is. I really think that if you left the planet and came back 100 years from now, these fish would be inhabiting almost exactly the same places. That was a nice strike right there. Not a bad one. The mouth of the river right there is a prime example. I don't know how many fish I've caught over my guide career, and probably the last 25 to 30 years at the mouth of the river, but on a hard falling tide, you know, it can be just epic. There's been numerous occasions where we've slammed out there, and I said, you know, why run by the potential of catching a number of fish when all we got to do is run about a half mile? And that's pretty much what we did.
If I hooked a redfish,
That's a big mullet.
that's a redfish.
Is it? Oh, it is.
It is a redder. Hey, we'll take him any way we can get him.
Danny, that was cool, man.
You can say that again.
You know, I've been wanting to do this show for a while where we can go and catch bass and saltwater fish on Mirrolures all in one day. And it worked. You know, the weather was kind of crazy, but that probably helped. And man, you caught some beautiful fish.
What a great day on the saltwater, great day on the freshwater, great day with my old friend Ray Van Horn.
This show brings back a lot of memories. I started my guide career on this lake 34 years ago. Started fishing saltwater at the mouth of the Untitled River with Dave Marquette decades ago. And it was kind of a coming home show for me. And you know what? The lake's still great. The fishery off of the Untitled River is still fantastic. If I didn't love the Everglades so much, I'd probably move back here. Danny, what a great day, man. You slammed out on the XL Little John and that jig.
Oh man, it was
Speed
sweet.
jigging.
I haven't caught a redfish in a while. Boy, I forgot how much they pull.
And then you picked on one on the top of the slot. That's a beautiful fish. I'll tell you what, that was a great day, folks. And that's a prime example. Fish hard. Remember, you do not get this day back. Till next time, tight lines.